Hey there everyone, I'm Esther Bartkiw, and today I want to talk to you about some of my personal experiences, the top 3 of how I damaged my aura, the energy around me, the 7 layers of the energetic realm around me, and what I did to repair them. Now, this is all in support of an upcoming class that I am going to be hosting on January 31st, Clean and Repair Your Auric Field. I'm going to put a link below. You can click on it now, find out more information and sign up. But I wanted to do this video because there are actually a number of ways that we can damage our aura. And you may be aware of some of them, and others you may not. And I'm hoping that by sharing these 3 stories with you, actually, I have more than 3 I could share, but I'm narrowing it down to what I feel are the top 3. You might have an aha moment and think, oh my goodness, maybe, was my aura damaged by that? I went through an experience similar to that. Or you might have an aha of, things haven't been quite right and I haven't been able to pinpoint it. Maybe I should turn within and see, has that been the case in my situation? Now, why are we doing an aura cleanse and repair right now? Why has this been so important that I'm actually going to hold a class on this right now? I've never done an aura class before, because we are at this point in the history of humanity, of the earth, I would even say the universal realm, where so much is being purged and new light is anchoring onto the planet, and people like you and I are focused in aligning with a higher timeline, a more positive timeline. And those of us who are here on planet Earth right now, I believe each and every one of us are here for this very reason, to support this shift that is underway, that there is truly a spiritual battle happening right now on the planet and in the ethers. And whether you consider yourself a warrior of the light or a prayer warrior, or you are holding you're someone that's just holding space, or maybe your role in this is to just focus on raising your vibration. That's how you're supporting this. Whatever your role might be, our auric field is like part of our armor, right? Our auric field is our energy. We are energy. Our auric field is energy. It's part of who we are. So we want to take care of that, just like we take care of our physical body. We take care of our emotional needs, our mental needs. We take care of, other spiritual needs. It's important for us to take care of our auric field. Okay. Your auric field will buffer those arrows coming in as we are in this spiritual battle. Your auric field is also part of your attraction factor. If you are consciously working as a manifestor, consciously manifesting what you want in your life, but also in the world, your auric field is part of your vibration. Okay. So this is very important. And if you're just learning about auras, I'm not going to discuss that on this video. But again, click on that link below and I have lots of really basic but important information there about an aura. Okay, what it is, the 7 energy bands, what damages your aura beyond what I'm going to talk about today. Okay, and you can also sign up for my class there. But let's go. So, the first, I'm doing this in timeline order. When I was younger, I was a club girl. And I would say from about, probably before 18, but let's just say from 18 to early 30s. Yeah, I was a club girl. I was in the clubs sometimes 7 nights a week. It was where I felt I belonged. It was it was a tool for me to deal with my emotions that I didn't know how to deal with at that time. Remember, this was before any spiritual or personal growth or awakening. I had companionship there. I made friends. I can look back on that time and say, even though there was a lot of dark energy in those clubs, some of the people I met were amazing people. And they were just like me. We needed to dance it out. We needed to, at that time, we used, let's say, alcohol to numb ourselves from what was going on within us, within the world. We needed community, like-minded. And I did really meet a lot of great people. But that atmosphere was not good, really, emotionally, mentally, physically. But it also created lots of problems with my auric field. Now, at the time, I didn't know any of this. Okay, it was only looking back when I sat one day and I said, okay, show me all the times where I really damaged my aura that I can share this with other people. And so, yes, I went out to the clubs sometimes 6-7 nights a week. There was one in particular I really went to a lot. When you go to bars, when you go to clubs, when you go to these places, whether it's low vibrational music or the words of the songs, right? The tone, the emotion of the singer, the yelling, the screaming, the swear words, the, kill them, whatever it is, there's a low vibration. Of course, there's alcohol, probably drugs in these places. There's people with mental illness. There's people in emotional despair. I was in emotional despair a lot of the times when I went to the clubs. There was just so much there, and wandering spirits, right? We know wandering spirits love to go into these types of atmospheres and attach themselves to people who are unconscious and inviting, even conscious and inviting. So as I tune in now to say, okay, well, what did that really do to my aura? I see it created rips and tears and gaps, but what really stands out for me is that it really darkened, like it dimmed my light. So even in those times when I went through a lot of distress, I even went through a period of very deep depression, there was always that positivity inside of me, right? Because that's the spirit saying, this is not you, Esther. This is not you. And I would have those moments of great positivity. But that atmosphere and all of the energies and spirits and vibrations in that club type situation, they really dimmed my light. And even as I look now, reflecting back, I can see how it really darkened my aura. Okay, so I want you to know, I don't think all clubs and bars and people who hang out at them are bad. I still love to dance. I still like to go for a cocktail. I have friends who do as well. Just be really choosy about where you go. Be really choosy about where you go, and always do some kind of energy clearing when you leave. All right. But what did I do back then? Because I was not really awakened. Well, I've been a Christian. I grew up in a Christian home. I gave my life to Jesus at a very early age at a Baptist church. We were not Baptists, but for a very short period of time, we went to a Baptist church. I went to a school that was not a Christian church, but it was in a Christian community. I went to school when we still did Bible studies every morning. So I really grew up in that energy. And around 27 years old, I started going back to church again. And what I see as the information comes to me is when I went back to church, I just deep dived in. I did all the ladies groups and the young adult groups, and I went to church and I did the singing, and I went on the trips and the volunteer. And I think that energy was a higher vibration than where I had been living, and it did a lot to repair my auric field. Okay. So the tip from this is, as you raise your vibration, as you put yourself in situations, environments with people that are of higher vibration, I do believe it has an effect on us, right? Because one energy will affect another energy, and it will help you to repair your auric field. All right. Now, the second one that I want to bring to your attention is tanning beds. I was tanning bed queen for a very, very long time. I was thinking about it before I did this video. I think it was over 20 years. Sometimes really intensely, sometimes not, but I really felt that I needed a tan to look good. I just loved it. I loved the look. So I went to tanning beds. And also, you know, and you can read about this online, tanning beds sometimes give you a mood boost. I definitely got that from tanning beds. And then people who have, this wasn't me, but people who have eczema find that going into tanning booths are really good to help them to keep that at bay. So again, there's always a positive side to things, but then you have to look at, but what is the negative? Is there damage that's being done that really is not worth the benefit? So how did I wake up to tanning beds? Well, I had, 2004 is when things really started to shift for me. I had a very profound personal growth awakening, spiritual awakening, that aha, that I didn't love myself. I, started working on myself. That means reading a lot. And I remember I was reading about auras, and one of the pieces of information came up that said tanning beds are really not good for your auras. It really, it's like you put yourself into a microwave. Food microwaves are not good for your aura. This tanning bed is like a microwave that is cooking your aura. And right away I was like, what? Because I was and I am so committed to living a high vibrational life, and to always turning within to see, is this for my highest and best, making changes, expanding, growing in awareness, growing in consciousness. So I looked around more, and yeah, there were more articles that talked about tanning beds. And it was hard for me because I knew that if I pursued learning about tanning beds and auras, I was going to have to make a choice, right? That's why some people don't want to wake up, because they don't want to have to choose. And after I had gathered all the information, I sat down and I said, well, okay, this is what I love about the tanning beds, but yet this is what I'm hearing. I'm getting confirmation, right, from my higher self, my inner being, that it's affecting your aura. And the image I was shown was that, when plastic heats up and then it just kind of crimples? When I tuned into my auric field and I said, okay, well, what is the tanning bed doing to my aura? That's what I saw, that, melting plastic image. And I was like, oh no. And I was thinking, well, maybe that's why I'm not able to create this. And maybe that's why I'm having trouble with this. And maybe that's why I'm attracting, these types of situations and people. And it actually didn't take me long. And it really, to this day, surprises me to say, that's it. I am not going into a tanning bed again. And that was it. It was cold turkey for me. Okay. So, consider that. And if you're not a tanning bed user, this has further implications. It's like microwaves, it's EMFs, it's your computer, it's your Wi-Fi, it's technology and electronics. And do you live near hydro wires and all of that? It is affecting our auric field. Okay, but tanning beds was really big for me. And if you're thinking, but Esther, I do use it to boost my mood, or Esther, I do use it because I have skin conditions. I'm not telling you to stop. You're going to have to make that decision for yourself. Check to see if it's affecting your aura. Just turn within, ask the question. The answer will come. But also you can see, what might be another alternative. Okay, if you're using it for a mood boost, maybe taking vitamin D drops or vitamin D, or, I don't give medical advice because I'm not a doctor, but there's other remedies. Maybe there's a lamp that you can use, or one of those Himalayan crystals, right, that you could have with you everywhere to help you with the skin condition, to help you with your mood boost. There's other ways. You just have to check it out. But I'm just sharing. I know that severely crippled my auric field. So, oh, you're probably wondering, yeah, so I stopped the tanning bed, and I would say, ooh, within 3 months, I noticed a difference. I noticed a difference in how I felt, what I attracted, and really just visually in my imagination as I would tune in, because I'm able to scan things like this, I could see my aura was getting bigger and juicier and more vibrant in different colors. And I was like, wow, it really did make an effect with me. The third way my aura was damaged that really stands out for me, and I could sit here and talk about aura damage for an hour, is I think the year was 2010. I did a trip to Peru, a shamanic journey. And I spent 1 week deep in the Peruvian jungle with a group of shamans doing plant medicine, and then transferred to Machu Picchu to work with one shaman there, and we did peyote. And I was with a group of people. And it was an amazing experience, and I'm so glad that I did it. And please know, before I get into the story, I'm fine with shamans. I'm fine with plant medicine. Go on a shamanic journey. You know, I'm okay. I'm cool with all of that. Just really vet who you are working with. And if intuition keeps telling you, no, it's okay, go, and you get there and you feel uncomfortable with the experience, just say no, thank you. Or you can be in the middle of an experience and say, let this energy just pass me by. I don't want it. Okay? Standing your self-power. So anyhow, when we were deep in the jungle and we were doing plant medicine, some of the shaman, now I realized a couple of years later, some of them were really, really good, but there was such a group of them. And some of them were manipulative is the word that I would use. So remember, we all have the magic of manifestation created through our vibration. Some people use it for good. Some people use their abilities to manipulate others, to take advantage of others. And it is known in shamanic circles around the world, not just in Peru, that there are shamans who will weave this energetic like magic to kind of hook into a person, to make that person dependent on them, to keep coming back, giving them more money, more sessions, more ceremonies, more this, more that. All right. So you know, there's some really, really good people, and then there's some that have ulterior motives. And what I came to know was that while some of those shaman were really good, because there was a group of them, we were a group, and then there was a group of them working with us. There were some of this manipulation, trying to hook in. And at that time, even though I had my spiritual awakening, and I was still giving away my authority, like, ooh, shaman, I'm doing something really neat and cool, and they know what they're doing, and I'm going to completely trust on them. And some of them, yes, I could have done that, but some of them now, in hindsight, I see no. Now, when I went after to Machu Picchu and worked with the shaman there, he was really cool, and there were no problems. So how did I come to this understanding that the shamanic work, some of the shamanic work I did in Peru, poked holes in my aura? I came home and, like everybody after these experiences, I'm like, when am I going to get changed? Nothing is changing. When am I going to get changed? Change. You're looking. And then I realized things were actually getting worse. But I understand sometimes things have to break down before you build up. I'm fine with that. But more and more time went on, and I realized I'm not feeling good. My energy's not feeling good. And I kept getting images and visions of being in Peru, being in the jungle, and being with certain shaman, which I know now was spirit attachment interference. Okay. So again, I sat down and I said, okay, something is not right. Please tell me what is going on. What do I need to change, clear, fix, adjust? And the information started coming to me about that when I was in Peru, at certain points, my aura was damaged and I had some entity and spirit attachments trying to hook me in, okay? So it's like, unfortunately, there is a marketing practice of you give people just enough to get a little bit of change, but not enough to get whole change, so they keep coming back, right? That's why even in our products on our grocery store shelves, they always go new and improved. They just take a product, they add new and improved, hoping that they're going to get an old customer back or get the same customer buying even more. So I got this information, I scanned my auric field again, and I really saw this was gaping holes. I saw the attachments. And so, of course, I knew what to do, because at this point I was quite involved doing energy work and things like this. And so, of course, I always say the first thing you do is you revoke consent. I do not consent. I do not consent. I revoke consent. I revoke permission, whether I give it to you consciously or unconsciously, to be in my auric field, to be in my mind, my body, to, just be in my energy field. And I could see instantly, push. It's like they didn't disperse, but they were still watching. And when you release these types of spirit entities, attachments from your energy field, often they don't completely leave right away. They kind of hang around because they're waiting for you to change your mind, or they're waiting for you to, either get weak or lose consciousness, and they can kind of find their way back in. But I was determined, because I would always look and I said, out now, this is not your home. And I don't know how many times I shouted that to the air. Eventually they did go away, but then I had to start repairing my auric field, and I just did it with energy work. Back then I did Reiki, because I'm trained in Reiki. So back then I did a lot of Reiki, but a lot of just visualization. And then, of course, I called on the angelic realm to help me a lot, particularly Archangel Raphael. I will be honest with you, it took a very long time to repair my auric field from that, about 1.5 years. But what I suspect is because that was being repaired, plus everything else, clean repair. And after about 1.5 years, I could tune into my aura and I could see, it was better. It was healthy. It was vibrant. It was high vibration. I could see the colors, the repairs and the gapes were cleared, and I was feeling better, and I was attracting differently into my life. So having a healthy, optimal functioning aura, I know, is very important. It's been important in my life, the whole journey of my life. And I know it's important for you. And as I said at the beginning, as we're heading into, we're here, at this very important time on planet Earth of world history of, are we aligning to the higher timeline? Are we staying where we are? Are we going to take a step back? Having a very healthy aura around you for part of your armor, but also for attraction, for your own mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. It's all part of the parcel. It's all part of it. Okay. So I do invite you, please consider taking this class with me. It's going to be an energy process. I don't know. People always ask me, Esther, how long are your classes? And I always say, as long as it takes. I'm going to say, set aside 2 hours. We're really going to do this step by step, going through each energy band of yours to clear and release, and to then heal and update and upgrade, so that you're going to have, at the end of the class, you're going to have some repairs done. Your vibration is totally going to be up, but also we've got to start that process of healing. Okay. And I don't want you to wait 1.5 years to have a healed and highly functioning aura like I did. I've learned a lot about this type of work. So I'm just hoping to kind of fast track you along a little bit with this class. All right. Now watch for other videos. I do want to talk about auras, and I'm going to give some more information about it. But, you know, just take a moment and reflect over your life and think, okay, I wonder if that affected my aura. And if it's still there, if it's still hanging around. Close your eyes and ask to be shown your auric field on the screen of your mind. And see, like, are the bands all bunched up together? Are they dull and light? Are you seeing shadows? Do you see, like, you know, debris? Like, you know, when you have to sweep the floor, is there debris somewhere? Are you seeing any hooks? Do you see maybe an energy attachment, right? You went to the store yesterday and somebody put their attention on you and it got caught in your energy field and you never cleared it. All right. So just do a check-in. You know, whatever you find, it's okay. It's just information. And now with that information of, oh, my aura could use some help, you can go about it. And on that page with the link below, I have some do-it-yourself tips on what you can do at home right now before you join me in class, and you'll have some pre-work done. All right. So thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you for being so dedicated, not only to your own personal journey, but to being here to support humanity and the planet in an uplifting of vibration, dimension, consciousness, and well-being. I will do an energy update in the next video, but remember, go back and watch the 2 that I just did. January 21st, around that date, there could be an unpacking of the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction energies in your life on the world scene within your family. All right. And then the 19th and 20th, that's when we're having that Mars-Uranus, you know, it could be kind of spicy that day. And of course, this is not to put you in fear. This is to further equip you, you know, like a weather report, so that you can think, all right, things might get a little hectic around that time in my life on the world scene. So I'm going to prepare by grounding myself. I'm going to be prepared by taking care of myself, so I'm at tip-top shape. And I'm going to be prepared, so I'm not going to be reactive. I'll be able to just kind of step back and observe what's going on before I take my actions. All right, everyone. Love you so much. Listen, I'm still here in Croatia. I have to go to the post office. People still go to the post office. I have to go to the post office because I have to send a letter to Canada. And I tried to make a change on an online system. It was a change of address. And the system wouldn't take it. And after 3 tries, I got locked out. And then I had to call them. And they said, well, you're locked out now. So now you've got to actually mail, not email, but physically mail a letter requesting for change of address. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I will do your steps. Let's just get it done. So I am off to the post office. I haven't been to one in a very long time. All right, everybody, have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.